Hello and welcome back to Early Talk. It's so good to have you with me again. This is our 5th week and this week we're looking at physical play. And the reason we've chosen to do physical play is because the theme of physical play is great for bringing in those action words, for you to have the opportunity to label the actions that your child is doing rather than just using the object names. So for example, running, jumping, throwing, dressing, sticking, putting, building. And we want to encourage you this week to start bringing those action words into your speak with your child and the activities that you're doing with your child, so that that will really help them to start putting sentences together. For example, mummy jumping. And it is just a wonderful opportunity to bring those describing words in. We can also, in this week, you can also emphasise the parts of the body when we're doing things. So if they were doing something with their hands, you can emphasise that they're doing something with their hands, or running with their feet, or whatever it is. We can bring in those parts of the body as well to the language that we're using with the children. The first activity that I want to describe to you for you to have a go at is very similar to one we used in week 2 when we did about pretend play, where we set up a home corner. And in that week we were emphasising the object words. This week we're going to be emphasising the doing words and the action words as you play in that home corner. And I've used some of the resources that I used in that week again this week, so hopefully they'll be easy for you to find. Please don't worry if you haven't got the things that I'm using. I've just found things that I know will work from my home environment. But if you've got different things, then you can adapt this activity to what you've got in your home environment. So we've got Teddy. And my suggestion is you set up a corner again with lots of different objects and things in it, which I'm going to talk through with you. But let's, for example, say you've got a teddy and you have the cushion for Teddy's bed again. And if your child chose to come and play with this corner and put Teddy to bed and perhaps put a rug over him for sleeping, or I've got a scarf, Teddy could put the scarf or the rug or whatever you've got over him, and you would emphasise the word sleeping, or putting Teddy to bed, or Teddy is sleeping. You'd start emphasising that word. Again, taking the lead from your child. So however your child is playing, you would then commentate on what they are doing, but really emphasising these action words. It's very important throughout this to be on the child's level, to be playing with the child, and to be maintaining that eye contact with the child so they can really watch your mouth and listen and pay attention to what you're saying. We've got a dolly as well. Similarly, if you haven't got a teddy but you've got a dolly, or even both, you could have both. They may put the dolly to sleep, or you could have those clothes out again, whether they're doll's clothes that you've got already, or whether they are old clothes that they've grown out of or not using at the moment. You could let them have a go at dressing the dolly or the teddy, and you would emphasise the word dressing. Oh, Dolly is wearing the shirt. So you'd emphasise the word wearing. And you're putting the shirt on Dolly. So you're emphasising those doing words. Again, watching what they're doing, commenting on what they're doing, and being on their level. I've also got a little box here with some first aid equipment. You may have one, you may not, But you could make one. You could just have a box, an old box, which you could put a cross on it, and you could put some bits in it, pretend bandages, bits of material, could pretend bandages. And if your child chose to pretend to be a doctor, for example, you don't need a first aid kit like this. You can just make one with boxes. Your child might pretend to be a doctor, and you could say, being a doctor. And if they're playing and say they were bandaging you, you could put wrapping the bandage around me, making mummy better. So you really emphasize those doing words. The other thing I put in my home corner today that you could lay out just in a corner of your home, and it doesn't have to be very big, is some dressing up, because dressing up is fantastic for children, for physical play for children. It encourages them to learn new skills of putting on. It encourages them to be pretending to be other characters, but it also provides us with an opportunity to really use those describing words. So in my dressing up, I haven't got any children's dressing up clothes. You may have a few costumes which you could just lay out in the home corner and see if your child wants to put them on, or you help your child put them on. But if not, do what I've done. I've got a scarf here, and they may want to put the scarf on, and you could say, oh, keeping warm, being warm. And you're wrapped up, you're using those words to describe what they're doing. The scarf could also, they might also put the scarf on their head. They might wrap it right round them. There's lots of ways they can use a scarf for dressing up. I've also put a cap, an old cap, which again you could say, putting the cap on your head. You've put it on your head. So you're emphasising what they're doing. A coat, the same with a coat. I've got an old skirt here and also a shirt. Anything, any old clothes or clothes that you don't mind them wearing, having a go and using, you could put in your dressing up corner as long as it's safe for them to put them on. Another idea, I've got some old handbags here that I found in my cupboard that I'm not using at the moment. You could put handbags out, and so if your child chose to put things in the bags, you could say putting things in the bag. You watch your child play and you comment on the action that they're doing as they play. So that's all ideas. You play along with them as well. If they're really getting into this activity and it's something that they're really enjoying, then you can play alongside them, taking the lead from them. Don't force the play on them. And just give them a commentary of what they're doing. So play alongside them and commentate on what you're both doing. And you can have such fun and interaction with this activity. So that's the first one, a little home corner in a bigger area or smaller area as you want. I've just put mine in a small corner where you can just have clothes, toys, where you're watching your child play, you're being on their level, and you're using those describing words of what they're doing to commentate as they're playing.